This is my layout update number 2. First thing I want to do is give a shout out to a couple of items and people. First one is to SCARM software. It's a model railroad software to help you decide how you want to build your layout. It's absolutely free. It's fairly easy to use. There's some videos on YouTube that gives you a pretty good tutorial on the basic understandings of how to use it. I wouldn't be even close to being finished on figuring out my layout if it wasn't for that software. Check it out. The main part again is it's free and it's pretty darn easy to use. And the photo you're looking at right now is a actual screenshot of my SCARM software open. Also, I want to recommend you go to Google Plus and look up YouTube Model Railroaders. Bunch of great people on there, give you all kinds of great help when you need it. We have hangouts just about every night where you can go in there and live chat, video chat with different people and ask questions, and these guys are a lot of help. They're willing to show you their layouts right there on the video. Any questions, they explain it to you. Real quick, I want to thank Johnny from there. He's got a YouTube username of Southeast Rails. Troy, his YouTube username is Mr. Fallen Flags. Dude, or Dudette, as I like to call him. His YouTube username is Lindler56, Lindler 56. Dave Lejos, he's got a YouTube channel, but it come out as a bunch of letters and numbers, and I'm not going to read that here. David Cobb, his YouTube user is DWCobb43, Cobb with 2 B's. DeBob, his YouTube user is DeBob's N-Scale Man Cave. Sven Frank, my friend in Germany, his YouTube user is Sven Frank NE, as in Nancy Edward. Modeler Man Mike, his YouTube user is DIGOXY, Digoxy. Barry Rosier, his YouTube is BS Rosier, spelled R-O-S-I-E-R. And Mr. Big Bill, William Graham. Great guy. His videos are a lot of fun to watch. You just have to do a search on YouTube for William Graham. Alrighty, we'll get on to the next one. Alright, here's where I use that SCARM software and printed out my layout plan. They were all printed out on regular A4 size paper. And I just kind of lined them up next to each other and taped them down, and pretty much it was very simple to do. Okay, for not so simple part, there was no way to print just the center line so I could know where to lay my cork. So what I did was I went and bought me a cheap little compass and drew the center line between the rails on the whole layout printed pages that I had there. You can see there, if you look closely, you can see my center line I drew in. And I took my modeler razor knife and starting from the outside, as you can see on this example here, you can see that 5/36 is kind of cut off right there in the outer edge. I just used the knife to cut along that center line and remove the outer pages that I cut away from it, and then I took a fine tip Sharpie and just drew along the edge of the paper there to get my center lines for my layout. Here you can see where I went ahead and went to the next track inside there, and again I cut along the center line, Use my Sharpie to mark the along the edge of the paper, and then I remove that piece of paper so you can see how well it's lining up with the template that I have printed out from SCARM. Alright, here we go. After I've done all those center lines and moved all the paper and all that, very simple to take the cork and follow it along that center line with the outer piece. I used 100% Elmer's white glue. I didn't water it down or anything. And I used a number 9 artist round tip brush with light pressure. It was just wide enough that I was spreading the glue pretty close to the same width as half that cork. So I just did around the outer edge and then come back along with the cork, and here's the other side of the layout. Again, same operation, pretty simple to do. Kind of hard to see here, but there's my cork coming off a turnoff there. I'm planning on having the yards directly on the plywood. So I took a sanding block at first and knocked a lot of it off with some 60 grit sandpaper, and then I took a small electric sander to kind of help smooth it out and finish it off. So now I got a smooth transition coming from the 3/16 of an inch thick cork outer main right on down to the edge of the plywood there.